G'day, Arnulin. Friends, hello. Yes, glorious Wednesday to you all. Today is giveaway day. Woo! Where we're doing this Vampires giveaway, and I'm excited for it, but we won't be doing that just yet. Let's get stuck into some painting first, shall we? Did my hair for tonight and everything. It's a great day, friends. It's been a great day. Brisbane went into lockdown, so that part's not great. My girlfriend had a shit day at work. G'day, Upper Canova. That's not a great day. But we had some other positives. Some other positive things. G'day, Sleepy Slang. Let's paint some skellies. I love skeletons. Just going to put this on for today, friends. I don't normally put on my mask when I'm airbrushing, but just going to do it today. That's not true. I normally do it when I'm undercoating. But I don't normally undercoat on stream. Oh, give me 5, mate. Let me get these undercoated, and then we'll get into some singing, pal. G'day, Mephiroy. Mephiroy. We're actually going to use the airbrush today for some base coats. Not normally something I do, but we're going to do it today. Base coats. Yeah. G'day, Net Diver. Hello, Rob Kelly. Haven't seen you around these parts in a while, mate. Hope you're doing well. So it's good. It feels good to be painting just not display models for a little bit. I don't feel burned out on them or anything. I'm excited to keep painting display models, but you know, it's just good to switch it up. And g'day, Tip Top. It is cold up here in Brisbane too, mate. So I can only imagine what it's like down there in Sydney. I haven't really got a plan for these skeletons yet, so which I'm sure shocks all of you to the core. I'll figure it out. Obviously we are doing the red glow on all of these, friends, so that'll be the main component that we'll do later on. Brisbane went into a lockdown yesterday. We've been locked down for the last 24 hours. Which is fine for me. Doesn't make too much of a difference to my day-to-day life, other than I increase my work from home to about from 10%, 20% of my time to as much of my time as I possibly can. And then I spend the rest of my time at home painting toy soldiers, which is exactly how I spend my time normally anyway. Yeah, reversals, hey, honey bunny, absolute stitch up. No, I'm too young, mate. In Australia, they've staggered the vaccination. It is Freezy, it is. I got shipping advice for Ank today too, so that should be here in the next couple of days. And Chaos in the Old World looks fucking legit too. Can't wait to get back to playing games. Yeah, so they started off only doing vaccinations for people that were over 60 or essential workers that required the vaccination. And then they just opened it up to anyone now. You can book in to get vaccinated, but I'm not in much, g'day Wampa, I'm not in much of a hurry for it. If only because there are other people out there in the world who require it more than I do, I think. So I'll get it when I'm able to get it and it's not preventing other people from getting it who are a higher risk category than me. It's my thought process. Yeah, you can't really see this, but if you have a look behind me, that's all the Curse City models behind us that I've done so far. Well, I've assembled them. I haven't actually painted any other than Radukar that I painted on stream the other night. Alright, so we're going to do their cloaks in blue. We're going to do their armour in a copper. No, we'll do their armour in steel. So my mum and dad have got the vaccination, the first one, and my dad has had a pretty sore arm, but he was okay. But my mum was really sick. She was really struggling for a couple of days, so she's feeling much better now. But yeah, pretty crazy. This is dark Prussian blue, which is a Vallejo model colour. Well, apparently the second shot's significantly better, less difficult for your body to handle. Well, depends, mate. Depends what happens with the game. Like at this stage, we're just gonna paint them and sell them. So once the games, we've played a few games of it anyway. So I'm gonna do a couple of airbrush layers of a blue type colour. This first one's basically the mid-tone that I'm going to be looking for. I'll put my mask back on, sorry. Base coating, you get much more paint particles than what I normally do. And then I'm going to do some shadows with a darker blue. I don't think I'm going to do any highlights with this airbrush stage. Thank you, Darren. Appreciate it as always, mate. You're welcome on the stream anytime. I sent my store. G'day Alex, the tyres in question, mate. We'll get back to you tomorrow. I was working from home today, so it was hard to do much. So I'll pull Radikar up shortly, so we can have a look at him. Because there's a few. We haven't done the draw yet, mate. We're going to do the draw probably in about. What's the time now? Probably at about 9:30, so about an hour and a half. That's exciting, Stormy. Last bus was fucking epic, mate. You keep going on that trajectory, you'll be the best painter in Australia, mate. You'll have Colwell covered. So I'm just doing thin coats. It's always better to do a couple of thin coats with your airbrush than one thick coat. Although maybe a little bit too thin on this one. Yeah, so the colour palette, I mean this is a not really a conscious choice, it just happened when I was painting Radikar, but the colour palette that he ended up with was a cold colour palette, which contrasted very nicely with the red glow that I ended up doing. Unintentional, but I like it. So the basic concept of the colours is going to be cold, until we dive into the warm red glow. So that's probably, we're not going to. Okay, fuck. How many times has the cam frozen in the last few streams, eh? Fucking bizarre. I went through a period of like 3 months when the camera did not freeze at all. And then all of a sudden... all of a sudden it fucking freezes like 4 or 5 times on the hop. Might have to rejig some stuff. Yeah, so this is dark Prussian blue. It's a nice colour actually. Sort of a rich, deep mid-tone blue. I like it a lot. G'day Shadow Uvray, how are you, champion? Fuck me, am I out already? Come on you fucks, only a couple more to go. If you haven't watched it yet, friends, tonight's episode of Loki, today's episode of Loki was an absolute banger. With one of the all-time cliffhangers. Haven't watched Clarkson's Farm, no, Freezy. Well, I have a very unbiased and calm opinion. As you know, I very rarely get excited about things. Alright, cool. That'll do for the moment actually. I'm going to try something slightly different. Well, I'm excited about painting Cursed City, mate. So there's a first. Oh dear, very funny. Alright, so what I think we're going to try and do, I'm making this up as I go along. Great, great stratagems. Anyway, let's have a look at Radikar actually. Here's Radikar. This is how he came out. So we used a nice blue on his back as well, but cool. So I think I talked about this on last night's or Monday night's stream, but I've magnetised all these motherfuckers as well. And the bases are all filled, so it's going to feel really luxurious to play with. Just from a perspective of like when you're moving plastic models around, it doesn't always feel like satisfying, but you have these nice heavy bases and just like boom 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 boom, just feels a lot more satisfying. So I like the feeling of this, and then magnetising means it'll be easier to get a little carry case for them, because you obviously can't store them in the game. And for models like this, when it's very easy to tip over because of how the weight's distributed, she is much more steady. So it's good. It's added about 10 hours to the fucking assembly process, but it is what it is. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do for the metal. So the metal, I'm going to start with a darker base. But I'm actually just going to use a contrast paint, I think, to go over the top of this. Yeah, that's what I'll do. And then for the skeletons, I'll do just some different browns. Yep, okay. So the contrast paint we'll use will be black, Templar, maybe with a bit of Space Wolves grey. Or do I actually, yeah, you know what, I'm going to do that differently. Going to mix this colour with some of this colour. So what I'm trying to create here is a glaze that's sort of a bit stronger than a traditional glaze, that can cover the armour to give me a darker surface to work from. So because I still want the blue tones in there, I'll just zoom in so we can have a bit closer look. Yep, absolutely. There'll be the same palette on all of the bad guys, or very similar anyway. Might mix it up a bit for a few of them, but I'll do the heroes in different palette, I think. Okay. I'll actually just hair dry that and see if that's going to be what I want. It is pretty much perfect. So I'm just trying to create a different base coat colour for the metal, but I still want it to be cold. So this is a mixture of Achillean green contrast paint and Negro grey, the very poorly named scale fantasy colour. The reason I mixed contrast paint and a normal paint, the contrast paints just have a tendency to filter the colour. I actually want to change the colour. Doopy doopy doo, doopy doopy doo. These guys have got like immortal face masks, which I dig. G'day Arnold. Mate, there is a website that I visited which has free STLs. I can't remember the name of it. It's just like one of the first things that pops up when you search for STL files, but there's also a variety of payable ones as well on the same site, and the paid ones are usually better. Going well, Arnulan. Thank you. How are you? Thingiverse could be it, yes. Depends what you're wanting to print, I suppose. If you're wanting to print models just for scenery or practice or stuff, I'm sure some freebies would be fine. If you want stuff to do serious painting, Nicky Jags. Arnold, these are from a game called Curse City, which was released by Games Workshop a few months ago, and I was lucky enough to obtain a copy of. A few people didn't manage to get copies, so I was pretty lucky. And yeah, my friends and I are pretty big on board games, so I'm going to have a few cracks at this game when I finish the painting, probably. It's called Curse City, mate. So I'm a bit late to the party. Everyone was doing Curse City streams like fucking 3 months ago, so I'm a bit late to the Curse City streams party, friends. Sorry for that. I hope the iron's still hot. Or everyone's doing Dominion streams now, aren't they? With the fucking box set from Dominion. Sorry, I'm not up to speed. I'm not hip and jive with what the cool kids are doing. Sorry to say. I did all 4 of the Highlands of Asura. They were very fun. Yeah, it's a shame the way that things happened with Curse City, and many people were unable to get a copy of it, which is very unfortunate. I got one though. But yeah, there was heaps of painters doing shit on it at the time. Every fucker and his dog was painting Curse City. Is that on the cards? Is a new version of Mordheim on the cards? Because that'd be cool if it is. I mean, I was always a bigger fan of Necromunda than I was of Mordheim, which is the inverse of how I normally go things. I'm normally jazzed for the fantasy stuff and don't really care for 40k, but Necromunda was the seminal game of my childhood. When I look back on the thing that most inspired me to play miniature games, I was just absolutely obsessed with Necromunda. The very first White Dwarf I purchased was White Dwarf 198, which had a Troll Slayer on the front, but it had a battle report at the back, which is a Necromunda battle report. I reckon I read that White Dwarf fucking 100 times. I don't know how old I was. I was like 12 or something, 13. However old I was a young fella, and I just obsessed about Necromunda. It was Ratskins versus Escher was the battle report. And I frothed over it. Pit Slaves just came out in that thing, or maybe it was the next one, because I vividly remember just going fuck yeah, because the way that they used to write battle reports of games in White Dwarf, it never really made as much sense to have the story side of things as it did when they did the Necromunda battle reports, because it was so intimate. I could tell interesting stories, but yeah. Anyway, I'm diverging here. The reason I'm talking about Necromunda is because Koki, my good mate Koki boy, has just been collecting all of the new edition of Necromunda. I've only played like 2 or 3 games of it. Fucking hell, it's actually really good. And it's just one of those things we just haven't got around to playing it, but fucking hell, we should. Metharoy, thank you for subscribing. You've picked a good time because we've only got about an hour to go before I do the draw for some vampires. The vampire. Boom, boom, boom. Oof. Thanks, mate. I haven't painted, so yeah. Let's go on a little divergence down memory lane. when I started, so I worked for Games Workshop for about 3 years, and when I started working for Games Workshop, because they used to give the staff members discount on product, I went crazy on Necromunda because I was like, yeah, this is the best. But I couldn't get all of them because at the time when I started working for them, which was about 5 or 6 years on from those White Dwarfs, Necromunda was a specialist game, so they weren't stocking it on the shelves that much. So I sort of started a Necromunda collection, and I think I sort of just wanted to have those memories of when I was a little tucker, and so I ended up just collecting a fuck ton of Necromunda models, and all of them, every gang, I had pretty much all of the original models. I think there was only one gang, 50%, Games Workshop Associates used to get 50% discount on their product. I don't know if that's still the case. We're talking about the year 2000, so it's a fair way on from then. Anyway, so my next few years after I left Games Workshop, I kept collecting all of these Necromunda models, and I ended up getting pretty much every Necromunda model that was ever made. I had, Pit Slaves, I had Spirers, I had Ratskins, I had all the Scavies, I had just all this. And I went on a crusade where I did paint 4 or 5 of the gangs. I did the Goliaths, I did the Esches, I did the Cawdor, I did the Scavies, but I never ended up playing with it. Right, we never ended up playing Necromunda. It was just this thing that I wanted to paint because I love Necromunda, and it took me back. And anyway, I ended up putting it up for sale because I really wanted to travel overseas for a Warhammer tournament, and I couldn't think of any other way to make the funds, because it was quite a sizable collection by that stage. And anyway, my mate Koki offered to buy it because he's just as obsessive with Necromunda as I am. And anyway, I sort of knocked a bit off the price for him and stuff, and we both were stoked because I got to go to the trip and he got to get Necromunda, and I also got to keep the Necromunda to play with effectively whenever I wanted to play Necromunda. So Koki's got all my Necromunda, all my scenery, all the stuff that I painted. He's got like 5 or 6 gangs that I painted, plus all the ones that I didn't paint. Well, he bought all the new ones. He's ended up buying all the new gangs as well. And so, actually, I'll grab them out now. Sitting behind me is a Goliath gang for me to paint when I get around to it. For the same reason as because I just fucking love it. Yeah, everybody wins. It's perfect. And so I got to play that Necromunda, the new version of Necromunda, with the Cawdor gang that I painted. And I went for a fucking crazy strategy where I just bought heaps and heaps of dudes. Zap Brannigan strategy. It's just throwing waves and waves of Jews at him. It's great. So yes, Necromunda is the game that I resonate most with, but it would be cool to see them redo Mordheim, because if it's anything like the new Necromunda, it's probably going to be quite a good game. Here's the Necromunda. Here's the Goliaths. I've got all these fucking Goliaths to paint. Some barrels and stuff. Dropping my fucking vacuum cleaner. Having a good night tonight. Yeah, so Koki bought weapons from the Forge World, so he's got resin weapons. He's got all these fucking hand flamer axes. Is that a power maul or just a hammer? Two-handed club. Fucking. And then they've got big dudes now. This dude's got fucking machine gun stuff. Then this guy's like some other crazy deal. His double-handed axe thing. So yeah, it's mad models, mad game. So I am keen to, and he's got this little swamp alligator. They have little monsters for all of the gangs now. So I will get around to painting that. It will happen. much like everything in my life, it'll happen when the time feels right. When it feels right, I'll be in. Okay. I want that brown. Yes. I want those two colours. Yes. And I want that colour. No. That colour. Yes. And that colour. Yes. Okay. Yeah, Koki has bought every one of them that they've released, so I'm sure he's got it. It'll be great. It'll be great. Like, we've been talking about doing a Necromunda day for ages, and Koki's got fucking 2 full tables now. It's fucking epic. I'll redo my palette cam in a second, friends. Alright, so I'm just going to talk through my colour choices here because it is relevant. So I've grabbed out the colours for the non-metallic metals, and I've grabbed out the colour for the skin tone, sorry, the bone tone, I should say. Bone tone. What, what? Alright, so theoretically, what I'm going to do is we're going to paint these bits in non-metallic metal. We may actually add some rust to them, maybe. This will be blue, so I just need to do the skeleton bits. So we're going to mix not Gobby brown, I always think it's Gobby brown, Kiwi brown, in with this blue, just a little bit of the blue, to get the colour for the bone. Get out of the way. Sure, mate. Pop it on. Is it non-metallic metal, or is it just metal paints that you've tried to do some sort of lighting? Yeah, impressive. feels good. I mean, I couldn't tell the difference, so that's a good sign. I like the green touches from below. Probably, I think I say this a fair bit, but it's never until the very last highlight that it tends to look like non-metallic metal. So maybe if you just do like that final last white touch, it will just all of a sudden it'll come together, and you'll be like, that was what I was missing. Light placement looks good. Well, I'm glad to have made you happy, mate. Okay. So this colour will be the metal. See if we can zoom in a bit on this. Okay, I've got to think about the lighting on these because the red glow is going to be important to remember. I would probably try just on some of the edges, mate, on the edges of the armour, like this sort of area here. Why on earth did I decide to paint this fucking whole box set in non-metallic metals? What was I thinking? Amusing. I can tell you, I know the answer to the question why I'm doing it, because I'm trying to get better at it. I feel like Camelot helped a lot in my approach. But practice, practice, practice. G'day Rapid Transit. Intuitive is an interesting word to use. There is a thought process behind what I'm doing, which I will try and explain. Yeah, that's how my dad felt. That was about all he got from it. So what I'm thinking about with this placement of lights is where is the light source, and what will the various types of surfaces do. So the light source is from the top right, so that's up here. But I've also got a secondary light source which is from the bottom down here, and that's going to be the red. So what I'm trying to do at the moment, and again this comes from practice, but all of these surfaces have a specific way of reacting to light based on the type of object that they are. So for example, this is a sphere. Doesn't look like a sphere, right? But it is actually a sphere. And so I've created this spherical light here because I know that that's what that shape does. This object here is a cylinder sphere. So we've got a cylinder line here, and then we've also got the spherical part here. This is similar to a sphere. You tend to get a conical sort of shape like this. Expanding out from there, but you also get light on other little areas as well. This is a cone, and so cones work in a specific way, but the problem is with cones, no pun intended, when you turn them around the light changes. So what I'm trying to do here is create the light source as if you're looking at it from each of these different angles. So I've actually, in a way, I've got 4 light sources on these objects here, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, based on where you would be standing. These little rings, they're all little flat planes. So the best way to highlight those is not to highlight them as individuals yet, but to think about them as an object, a singular object, and how that object will react to the light in general. And so what you'll get is this glittering effect where you'll have some of them lighting up and then the ones beside those not lighting up. And so that's pretty much it. It's all relatively straightforward around where those lights go. So the next colour in my highlighting, we're just going to repeat that same we're just going to repeat that same placement with a lighter colour. We'll just be a little bit more precise. Remembering that we're going to do a red glow with the airbrush after this. I just need to tilt this up just slightly. So I'm trying not to go too crazy on the painting on these guys, but at the same time, these guys are mostly made up of two elements, which is the metal and their cloaks. So I'll spend significantly less time on the other elements to make sure that those two elements are right. I did blue through the airbrush and over the zenithal prime. And the reason I'm not doing light on this leg, come on camera, you can handle it. On this side of the leg is because that's where the red's going to be. So does that change your perspective on the intuitive nature of the way that I'm doing things? Because it's less about intuition and more about my practice with those volumes and understanding how the light would interact with those volumes. Or to rephrase it in a different way, sufficiently advanced practice is indistinguishable from intuition. Any sufficiently advanced practice is indistinguishable from talent. A little joke there, just amusing myself. Alright, I'm going to go up to a light colour, not quite white yet. Close. Thank you for getting my very bad attempt at a joke. Yeah, triangles are like cones in a way. The light reacts slightly differently than it would on a flat surface, but yeah, effectively the way that you did it I think feels right. I'm far from an expert on NMM, friends. There's some people that do stuff with non-metallic metal that melts my brain just as much as it melts yours, I'm sure. So Watch as I dive in. Bit of Grab Radicar actually. Went much greyer with that than I realised. I use Vallejo. I have similar experience. I do thin it a little bit, but I don't thin it massive amounts. So I just put a little thinner in there. Mostly primer, probably about 1 part thinner to 4 parts, 5 parts primer. But yep, I still have a similar problem sometimes. Ooh, I'm fucking buzzing about like, g'day Jan. Hey Jan. Yeah, I don't use it. Oh, that's not what I want. I don't use my cleaner that much, but I also have quite a big nozzle, so. I'm good, mate. I'm very good. Painting some Cursed City, and we're about to do it. We're going to do a giveaway later on for Crimson Court for subscribers. G'day, Jim. How are you, mate? Alright, that's pretty good for the moment. So let's do the blue. Drop some paints all over the shop. Good job. Yeah. Are you streaming tonight or something? Oh, cool. That's awesome. Yes, my giveaway tonight is a monthly subscriber giveaway. G'day, Smeggers. No free songs. No free songs tonight. People can pay for songs, but no freebies. Alright. Smeggers, you've missed a fair bit, mate, but right now we're starting... I'll tell you what, here's the main thing you missed. I'm just going to show you a quick video. Just a very brief video, only goes for a few brief seconds. Enjoy. Gotta stop doing that, friends? It's just lazy streaming, right? It's just lazy streaming. Sleepy. Sleepy, been waiting on that since the stream started. Mambo number 5. Jump up and down, move it all around. A little bit of Monica in my life, a little bit of Jessica by my side, a little bit of Tina's all I need, a little bit of something in the sun, a little bit of Mary all night long, a little bit of Jessica, here I am, a little bit of you makes me your man. I can't believe you just gave Nicky Jagger a fucking subscription. That is the worst. He's going to be able to use my face now. That's terrible. Mambo number 5. You and me are gonna touch the sky. No! No! Hey, Robbie's Hobbies. G'day, mate. That's terrible. Yeah, I think the Camelot diorama came out pretty well, friends. I'm happy with it. The more that I reflect on it, the more pleased I am. And we had a little bit of luck today. We found a buyer who has agreed to purchase it. So it will be winging its way to a new home at some point. when I figure out how to pack that bad boy. Arnoul, and unfortunately you have to be a subscriber. Maybe you will be able to do it. Aren't you a Prime subscriber? I don't know. I'm not well versed in Twitch, mate. Yes, the subscribers get access to Big Deno emotes, of which there are currently only 2, and I'll promise everyone I'll do a spider emote, because we're not here to fuck spiders. And I've got to do a couple more too, because they're very funny. I like just popping into random people's streams and just going, it's great. Yeah, look, it probably will be a little bit hard to let go. It's not going to be anytime soon. I'm taking it to Queensland Model Hobby Expo, but it is what it is. I've gained a valuable experience from it and enjoyed doing it, and that is all I wanted to achieve. Alright, well, how long has this been? This has been 1 hour and 12 minutes, but I've probably done a fair chunk of other shit, or other stuff. So this has probably taken me about 45, I would think. Maybe less, maybe half an hour. Nolan, beautifully done, mate. Just in time. Try doing the Deno face now. And there it is, pal. Magnificent. Yeah, smidge more complex, maybe. I haven't painted HeroQuest ones in a while. Sure, mate. Love to. Yes, I also love HeroQuest models. I don't know if you ever saw, mate, but there was one of my favourite painters painted a version of HeroQuest, or the models from HeroQuest. He painted them up recently using sort of modern techniques and stuff. His name's Emu's Studio. I don't know if you've seen it on Instagram or not, but go look up Emu's Studio and yep. Fucking epic. Alright, so I'm I'm just going to do a quick Space Wolves Grey contrast paint. Yeah, it made me want to buy it too. I'll come back to you in a sec, Arnold, because I just want to do this before I have a look. So I'm just going to do this Space Wolves Grey contrast paint over the top of the armour, just to homogenise it and bring it down a little bit. And it's also looking a little bit too pale, which is probably okay. But I may just add a tiny little bit of warmth to it. And Cygor Brown. And Cygor Brown for the armour, the bones, bag of bones. I don't have all of them. I definitely recommend a few of them. There's probably 4 or 5 that I think are absolutely stellars, which is Volupus Pink, Snakebite Leather, and window capture. Achillean Green. Volupus Pink, Achillean Green, Snakebite Leather, Nazreg Yellow. They're my 4 top ones. Alright, let's just have a look at this bad boy, shall we? Cool. I remember the feedback I gave you. Someone said something then. Hello to that person, whomever you were. Oh, Mike, Milk and Thread, subscribe with Prime. Good time to subscribe, mate. We're doing our giveaway tonight. Haha! I'm a genius at this fucking streaming business. Yeah, probably would have liked to see just a tiny bit more separation between the base and the guy. Like I lose the fact that they're separate elements a little bit, which is probably okay. They feel quite harmonious, which is good. I like those subtle purple tones in the steel. But I will say that it's a colour that's nowhere else on the model really, and so it feels a little bit jarring in that sense. But the face certainly stands out more from the green before. Yeah, the greens definitely noticeably stands out more, which is a positive thing. But yeah, mate, it looks really cool. I'm excited to see how you go with your feedback, champion. Go away. Is it? Cool. Don't cry for me, Argentina. Alright, I think we just need to go a tiny little bit of these contrast paints. Yeah, it looked like purple to me too, but no, not that one. My other one. so normally I'd probably finish one section completely. I just felt like that needed a little bit of yellow to the metal. Alright, we're going to go straight into the red now. Try the red. Fuck, I'm going to do the base. I'll really quickly do the base. I don't really remember how I did the base. I think I did pastel blue. I think it's a very good paint job, mate. So you should definitely be proud of the paint job that you've done. Oh, that's right, I did that blue. Shit. Doing the fucking giveaway in like 10 minutes. Crazy. I did none of that, so I'd trust them and your perspective more than I'd trust mine, mate. That's the plan, Alex. No bases galore. Which is why I'm not doing a lot of like crazy work on the base. All I'm going to do now is a bit of this Killian green, and then we're going to crack out the red in the airbrush. Everybody gets a snow base, Oprah. I mean, it's thematically appropriate for the models. Yeah, the warmer tone's important. When I add the highlight, it should look great. But I'm going to do the highlight after the red. Let's do the red. Come on, Dano, sort your shit out. Just don't want to get red on my dudes in the wrong spot. Stand there. Good. Alright, since I've got this one out, I will just do it with this one. And we use this red. Cool, alright. Let's just fucking be crazy. Red, here we come. It's raining red. Hallelujah, it's a raining red. Hey, hey. Cream, get on top. Cream, don't you stop. Cream, sugar, get out. Is about all I know. Cream, don't you stop. Cream, sugar, get out. That's all I got for you. A friend of mine in my younger days was a lady who used to dance erotically for men, and that was the song that she used to dance to. It was her theme song. Quite like that song. I do actually know Little Red Corvette. Little Red Corvette. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Little Red Corvette. Hang on, how's Purple Rain go? Oh yeah. Pour some sugar on me. Evidently I know a lot more Prince songs than I thought. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. I'm having a good night. I was like, wow, fuck, I didn't know that was a Prince song in my head. It's because it's not, didn't I? One of your best, you fucking idiot. I do remember When Doves Cry, actually. Look, in my younger days, I was known to frequent a variety of places. And that is all I shall say about that. Life is a highway, I will ride it all night long. If you're going my way. I know that's not a Prince song, by the way. Just came into my head. Okay, so if you weren't on Monday night's Party Monday stream, I'll just explain what I've done here. So very, very quickly, I've just added in some spots where I want to have the really intense red, and it helps sell the effect. So the airbrush will never quite nail it, right? It'll get you close, but it never gets you the whole way there so it looks correct. So what you have to do to sell it as a lighting source effect is what I'm doing here, which is go and add in really intense reflective lights and make sure that you're creating the dark shadows. So allow me to quickly do this. That's a long time ago that I watched the original Batman. I feel like you can watch it on YouTube if you want to. So I've just mixed a bit of fluorescent red with actual red, the same red, and we're just going to do some really thin glazes over this area. It definitely is doable with a brush, mate. There's no effect that you can do with an airbrush that isn't doable with a brush. The difference is time. Like you've seen me do this in the last 20 minutes. Oh, Honey Bunny, please. Do yourself a favour and go and watch the new Christian Bale ones. Batman Begins and The Dark Knight with Heath Ledger. The Dark Knight won an Oscar. It's fucking great. Heath Ledger was unbelievable. I have this thing that I do. I was too, and I wasn't at all interested in seeing Batman Begins, but a mate of mine watched it, and I was at his house, and I was like, holy shit, that was awesome. So trust me, they're really good, real good. Yeah, I do a fucking Bane impersonation when we're playing board games on a Tuesday night. Fucking hell, it's very funny. Alright, so you can see how this little second light has made a difference to how this looks in terms of the lighting. The airbrush does a really good job of selling it, but it doesn't feel quite right. So when you add those little extra bits of white in, and then do the red over the top. You're not getting banned for saying that George Clooney was the greatest Batman, because Batman and Robin is a fantastic film. It introduced us to Arnold Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze, which will forever go down as one of the greatest characters in film. The Iceman cometh. Hey everybody, chill. The Ice Age. I guess. Ah, yes. Just great stuff. Great stuff. Alright. So the only downside with the airbrush method is it does steal away a little bit of your sharp shadows. So let's go back in and add those shadows right now, and we should look pretty good. It is so good cringe. Yeah, I'm doing it with pure black. I probably wouldn't do pure black on a display model, but because it's a gaming model, I really want that very deep contrast, because you don't get to see it from close enough. It was fluorescent red from Vallejo Game Air was the colour. I'll grab it out in a sec. It actually looks orange. Alright, so I'll just quickly pop some non-metallic metal steel highlights, and then we should be ready to do the draw. So it's Last Chance Saloon right now. Oh yeah, Antares red. Whew, great red. Alright, so if we just do a few little spots of this. Alright, boom, shake, shake, shake the room. Let's put him beside this dude. The snow should help. This guy doesn't have any of that blue showing. Oh wow, this blue looks way better than that blue. Fuck me. Alright, good timing, Benny. We're just going to do tonight's draw. Yeah, the OSL is bright on the skeleton. That guy's the test model, so they always look better towards the end. He's a test model because he's one of my least favourite models. Okay, let's do this draw. Yeah, I might touch him up later. Alright. So I'm just going to go download the subscriber list right now. Hey Benny sold Camelot today. Where do I find that again? Someone just did something. Hello to that person and welcome. I'm a big fella myself, mate, so I can touch up wherever I want. Alright. Oh, it's the same price what we discussed the other night. There or thereabouts. Easy sale. Wasn't, downloads, there we go. Draw. No, I said to myself that I would get, I would pick myself up a Vortex mixer, so that is what I shall do. My camera's okay, I think it's not the camera, it's something else. Alright, so I'm just going to share my screen now, friends. Now I'm just going to, I included a fair chunk for the shipping. Alright, let's fuck that picture off. Oh, here you go, I've got some good photos of him to show you in a sec. Let's do this draw first. Let's do this draw. Maybe the elves, yeah, maybe I'll get the elves. Okay, so this is my Google Drive, and I'm just going to load up. I did figure out how to ship it, yes. This, I'm going to open this with Google Sheets, and then we're going to take everyone's usernames like this, but we won't include myself, and we'll copy paste that. Now I'll do it on the notepad, sorry. Notepad, so there's not a fucking... alright, so... Fuck, what was the name of that thing now? It's always funny to see what stuff I've Googled recently. Kelly Ripa Scrubs. Why did I Google that? I don't remember. Enthusiasm.gif. Great. Random name picker. There we go. That seems positive. One of these two. It's not that one. I don't think it's this one either. You know what? I think I might have selected random comment picker. I can never remember. I can never remember which one I fucking use. It's definitely not that one. Laser Shark. It's actually a design. I should bookmark it. Random draw. Oh, that's been Googled before. Oh, here we go. Is this it? No, fuck that. Is it this one? No. Comment picker. There it is. This is the one I've used. Excellent. Comment picker. I'm going to remember that. Should I bookmark it? I can't bookmark it. I'm not going to bookmark it. I've got work bookmarks on here. Alright, here we go. So fuck this off. We're going to enter all these, then we're just going to shuffle the names a bit, shuffle around. I don't know if this changes it up every time, what it does, but yeah, all good. I don't make it complicated, mate. This is easy as piss. Easy as piss. Alright, can everyone see? I've turned off the thing. Great, we're all on. So, this person is winning my Crimson Court vampires that I painted. I still haven't played with them yet. Are you a subscriber, Daz? We'll find out in a second. So, it'll be in a little while that I'll send them. Alright, here we go. Good luck to all of you, friends. Here we go. Groogy! Groogy! Gruggy? Rigged. Man, it's everyone's names in there. How's it rigged? I didn't fucking do it. Congratulations, Groogy. I don't know that Groogy has ever said a word in this stream. I do not recall saying hello to Groogy at any time, but congratulations for being here, Groogy. I appreciate you being a subscriber, Groogs. You great man, or woman, or other. We'll copy this unique link, and we'll just put it into the chat. And if Groogy doesn't respond to me, this will be who wins it. I'm doing this time, but I'm not giving him a freebie. Jagamage! I love this thing. I love this fucking page. Alright, anyway, Jagamage, you don't get shit right now. But if Groogy's an imaginary made-up person, you can have it. But he's not. They are a real person, I'm sure of it. Because they've contributed to this stream in many ways. Groogy, I'm going to send him a quick PM now. Is it your mate, Broadside? Awesome. I hope it's someone that we know. Groogy, I'm just going to try and whisper the guy. It probably was too. Grudgy. Masculine. Grudgy. Is that him? I ought to check that. Grrugy. Alright, cool. Fuck, I've literally never spoken to the guy. Hey mate, you won my subscriber giveaway for June. Send me some details so I can send you some vampires. Smiley face. Great. Great work. Well, that was fun. Well done all. Sorry to everyone who really wanted those vampires, specifically Darren. And everyone else that wanted them. I know people were pretty excited. And Wampa, yeah, Wampa desperately wanted them too. Sorry, Daz. Sorry, mate. Hey, do you want to see something that, like, legitimately, like, is fucking so bizarre? Check this out. Check this out. I'm just bring out the browser again. No, not the browser. This one. Check this out. This is my grams, right? We'll just go to my grams page. Is it your mate? I just sent him a message. Tell him to reply. So this is my excellent Camelot fucking diorama. Check this out. Fantastic. Great stuff. 19,000 views. Magnificent. 3,727 likes. 8 weeks worth of work, friends. Huge amounts of effort. Huge amounts of money. What a glorious achievement. 3,700 likes. I'm chuffed. Crusader. 4 hours of work. What is wrong with people? Seriously. Guys, I did this in 4 hours. Can you fuck off right now? Fuck me. It's like two colours, guys. Come on. It's blue and black. What is wrong with you? Fucking hell. That's true. I don't know. But none of them. This one got 27,000 views, 4,000 likes. Fantastic. Great stuff. I think that was the most. It cracks me up because it's all about, I don't know, algorithms and fucking, who knows. It possibly could be when I posted it, people were on at the time, were just scrolling. Yeah, it's just bizarre. I'll never know. There's the vampires that we're giving away this month. They're pretty good. I think we might actually do the walrus for this giveaway, this one. He's not finished though, so I can't put up a finished picture of him, but he is here. How bizarre is that, eh? Fucking nearly 5,000 likes for a Crusader that I did in 4 hours. This champion is our giveaway for this month. He's probably a stream away from being finished. I promise I'll do that. I promise I'll give him away. Alright, cool. Let's get into painting this guy now. Let's do this chap. Normally, a model doesn't sit on my work in progress shelf for very long. I normally burn through them pretty quick, but he got stopped because of Camelot. So here's the scale of Walrus, dude. You don't quite realise how big he is normally, but look at this guy. Fuck yeah. I'ma fuck you up. Eat it. Eat my shark dick. Alright. Well, I think this plan worked okay for these skellies, hey? So let's do it. Let's do it. I'm not going to apologise, mate. I apologise for nothing. Not a PG stream. It's a stream for mad dogs who are comfortable with talk of shark dicks and whatever else. Oh, clip away, mate. Clip away. I'm sure my prospective Word Miniatures stream friends are stoked about me talking about that sort of stuff. What we need is more shark dicks. That fucking Crusader took me 4 hours. 4 hours, guys. Are we really going to compare it to a piece that took 8 weeks worth of work and has 12 models and fucking thousands of dollars worth of stuff? We're going to compare that to a 4 hour fucking... if you go to my Instagram, mate, you can see the photos of the diorama. I think I posted photos in that. No, it's on my Facebook. Fucking hell, 4 hours. I'm not mad. It never ceases to amaze me how things like that work. I think, but prior to that, I'd painted, fucking huge dioramas and all sorts of crazy stuff and stuff that I put so much effort into that I'm really proud of. And the thing that had the most likes on my page was a work in progress of a Wraith model. It's just, yeah. Actually, Camelot did have a lot of colours, and when I reflect back on it, I think I would try and... Paul actually made this suggestion at the time, at the start. Thank you, Paul. To have a unified colour palette across the whole piece to try and tie it all together. And I didn't think I'd be able to do that. And to be fair, I don't know that I still would be able to do it. But yeah, I feel like that might have helped. I'm going to click that right now. Yeah, that's all time right there. Ah, the internet, hey? How good is it? Well done, Arnold. Well done. I mean, ultimately, it doesn't impact me at all, because I'm not painting to get social media EP. Maybe there was a time when I was a bit younger that I did, but these days I just paint for fun. And so, but I always find it amusing, like what people gravitate towards, and how people vote sometimes on things that they like or things that they dislike. Because it just constantly proves how subjective this this universe is, really. Fucking rigged. I wish I could give them to all of you, friends. I truly do. Yes, I get to keep them. Oh dear. I have got it on my painting file, but I haven't got it done. Hey, Honey Bunny, here's some Hugo pics. Let's get some Hugo pics going on because we all love that little kiddo. He's my favourite. Yeah, so he's been a very good boy the last few days. He's been behaving himself. Been a little bit better on his walks and stuff, but every now and then he just fucking loses his shit for some reason. So, Groogy, on your champion. I sent you a PM. Congrats, mate. You're winning these vampires. Where are you based, legend? Where are you based? How much money am I going to be stung for fucking chipping on these clowns? Do you want the cards and stuff for the game as well? You can have those as well if you want. If you don't want the cards, that's okay. You don't have to have them. Woo. Thanks for subscribing, mate. I appreciate it. Oh yeah, awesome. South Australia, Harndorf. Are you talking about Harndorf in Germany, or are you talking about South Australia? In Australia. Awesome. South Australia. Sweet. I'm gonna get fucking stung for fucking cash money. It's gonna be like $12. Yeah, I'll send them off in probably a week or two, mate. Just gotta pack them up first. Hey, anyway, so here's the first Hugo pick for the night, little baby boy. So after daycare, oh cool. After daycare, he gets super tired. No, you're a champ, mate. You gave me some of your money. I've given you nothing. So he sometimes sleeps on the couch, and he makes himself a little nest of things. So there's his little meerkat. He's just having a little sleep on the couch, little boy. But yeah, so as we've discussed, my girlfriend, he doesn't get super clingy very often, but this particular night we thought he was going to sleep out on the couch, and then he just trundled in and he was like, "No, I'm going to sleep here, Mum. I'm going to sleep here." But this one's my favourite. My girlfriend woke up with him this morning. Look at this. This is fucking classic. Look, he's holding her hand. He's holding her hand. Oh, little buddy. He's so great. So my girlfriend's been working from home today because because of the lockdown, and so yeah, he's zonked out today. Absolutely passed out. Look at his little face. He's such a good boy. I like him so much. G'day, Butcher of Darn. He's a great dude. I could say moderate chuckle. Can't give you any more than that. Yeah, Nightbot, what a dickhead. Well, I'm gonna sign up for a new bot. My mate Flixer does a cool bot apparently, so I'm gonna sign up for that. Yeah, Nightbot's got fucking no idea what's going on. Go ban some more people, Nightbot, you useless fuck. People that are just trying to spam dino faces. Come on, mate. Fucking pull your head together. Ban Nightbot, yes. Ban him. He's fucking useless. G'day, CG Mini Painting. I'm painting these friends from Curse City. Little skellies. What's happening in, hang on, what's happening in beautiful France today? No, you're in Canada, that's right. You speak French as well though, don't you? CG Mini Painting, is that right? In Canada? Maybe I'm wrong. You could be anywhere actually. I did talk through these colours before, but I'll just quickly run through them again. Oh, fucking my memory's good sometimes. I could not tell you for the life of me what day my mum and dad's birthday is. But fuck me, I remember miniature painting shit. Colour names. Dumb shit that's irrelevant. Oh, there's a little bit of there. Alright, so the colours that I'm using, and I'll happily go through all of these again because it's a good reminder, and that way I've also got it on film if I forget. So for the metals, I've gone with blue, dark Prussian blue as a base coat, and then I have done a heavy wash using Negro Grey, which is a very poorly named fantasy scale colour model paint, and Achillean Green to give this dark colour. For the bones, I've gone dark Prussian blue mixed with kiwi brown to create this greenish skeleton bone base coat. And then I have highlighted up to silver grey through those colours. For the blue, I have just highlighted Star Blue from AK 3rd Gen into the dark Prussian blue base coat. And for the non-metallic metal, I've just used the Michael Pazarski Morning Sky and Iron Hue along with the yellow from that same set. Fuck, I love a giveaway. How is a giveaway? South Australia, grungy. At least we got him in the chat. At least he had a conversation in the chat. That's good, eh? What a legend. Yeah. Yeah, there's some Barry Crockers out there. I think there's actually quite a number of because well, I can't speak with any certainty here, but I don't think it's a racial slur or anything in Spanish. So, but you would have to think that the people naming the colours would have a cursory understanding of English. Certainly would have thought so anyway. Yep, I have that one too. Yeah, so I doubt it's intentionally meant to be offensive, but unfortunately unintentional things can be just as hurtful. No, the orange in question is called chink orange. Yeah, it's a Barry Crocker. Oh, it's fun doing some army painting for a change. Haven't done it in a while. It can be quite relaxing. The thing about army painting is you never need it to be like super smooth blends, anything like that. You just really want to punch up the contrast so that people can see it from a mile away. This is a great head. Look at this dude's head. So yeah, I never go too crazy on blends with these sorts of models. Just concentrate on high impact. So has anyone in the chat played Curse City? Or any of the Games Workshop like Warhammer Quests? Potentially Silver Tower or Blackstone Fortress, which I believe uses the same mechanics as this. Ah, yes. I think this is a remake of it. Curse City, effectively. A man of principle. I like it. I haven't heard too many like negative reviews about the game. Mind you, a lot of the people that would be writing reviews on Curse City would probably be Games Workshop fans, given that the set sold out very quickly. It's unlikely that the average punter picked up a copy, one would have imagined. Okay. Any house rules or anything like that that make it more palatable. Because here's the thing, we played Dark Souls, the board game, right? And I've never played Dark Souls, the computer game, but as I understand, it's a very grindy game, quite demanding. And when you're playing a computer game, a grindy computer game is part of the challenge, right? Because it's a technical skill that you can develop, like physical dexterity. Whereas with board games, because it's in some cases, and particularly in the case of Dark Souls, the board game, a little bit more luck dependent around what you draw and how well you roll. The grindiness doesn't feel like it's a skill-based thing. There's obviously mechanics that you can manipulate to your benefit, but grinding in a board game, my point is, grinding in a board game doesn't feel like the optimal way to play a board game. I would much rather spend my time with board games, which is, a few hours around a table with some friends doing crazy stuff, So, yeah, I've heard great things about it. I'm not really a computer gamer. The only games I play on my computer are fucking board game ports, Gloomhaven and shit. So. The board game, so you have lives basically and that's tracked on a little campfire, which as I understand is quite reminiscent of the game. So the campfire, tracks your number of lives. So there's always 4 rooms before you reach the boss on each level, and those 4 rooms are randomly allocated based on, the level of the encounter. So it'll be like a level 1 encounter, then a level 2, then another level 2, then a level 3, or whatever, depending on the type of boss you're facing. And so, when you die, you keep all of your equipment, but you go back to the very first room, and you have to fight your way through the rooms again, even if you've already cleared it, which again, as I understand, is reminiscent of how the game works. But the way that the game is structured, you have 2 lives. If you're playing 4 players, 3 if you're playing 3 players, and so on. But you absolutely have to die and go through those rooms and gain souls, because every time you clear a room you pick up some souls that you can convert into equipment back at the bonfire. And so it's basically expected that you go through a couple of times so that you can accrue enough equipment to be able to beat the boss and accrue enough level ups and so forth. So that mechanically sounds really cool, right? And it sounds accurate to the game. But what it ends up feeling like when you play is you're fucking fighting the same dickhead little combat rooms over and over and over, and it's just really repetitive. And so when you talk about Dark Souls, a lot of people have a pretty negative bent on Dark Souls, the board game, for that reason. But the one thing I will say about Dark Souls, the board game, is the boss battles are awesome. Like the actual boss battles, when you get to the boss, if you've got the right equipment, the way that the battle happens, you have AI cards that tell you exactly what actions it's going to do. Those AI cards are in a specific order, so you can start to understand the pattern of the boss, which is again reminiscent of learning the patterns of the boss in the computer game, and it works really well. And the boss battles are fucking unreal. And then when you get the boss to half health, you shuffle the deck. Correct, yeah. In and that's what I said at the start. In when you play a computer game, there's a physical component. You can actually get better as depending on how good your reflexes are, how well practiced you are, that sort of stuff. You don't get to do that in the board game really. It's just like playing the Game of Thrones. And it's such a shame. Like I think we played it probably 2 or 3 times maybe as a gaming group, and I think the consensus was just if this game was all about boss battles, it would be fucking magnificent. But you have to grind your way through 2.5 hours of shit of like really what gets to be quite repetitive. It was fun the first time, but after you've done it once or twice, it's just like more of these little fucking hollow soldiers that are just going to do the same fucking thing, walk forward, fight, fucking etc, etc. So it brought up a really interesting sort of conversation about, well, it's everything that I've just described would no doubt sound absolutely bang on for people who played the game. It's an accurate and true representation of the computer game, which is no doubt what they were going for. Does an accurate and true representation of a computer game equate to being a good board game? The way that I ended up playing it with Whaley, and we played a couple of like campaign style things of Dark Souls, was we just skipped. Anytime we felt like we were confident that we could clear a room, just based on our dice rolls, being on averages and understanding the mechanics and where we positioned and set up, we just skipped it and just took the souls and spent the souls and leveled up so we could get to boss fights. And there's a lot of people who've done some like rewrites of the rules on Board Game Geek, and it's really close to being a fantastic game, but it just missed the mark because of that. Butcher of Narn, the way that I do it when I'm doing display models is I will be fairly opaque with my layers, and then I will blend it using glazes, usually via my airbrush. When I'm doing gaming models like this, I try to split the difference, so I try to use a slightly less opaque paint, only slightly, and I try and create a little bit more softness in the blend so I don't have to do quite as much. And as I was talking about before, I do try to over contrast in this scale because I feel like it creates a better visual interest when you're looking on the table. The minis are unreal. I bought the whole box and dice. I ended up selling it because I didn't like. I played the game several times, but any time I was like, well, what dungeon crawler do we want to play? Dark Souls never really made it on the list, and the models weren't that good that I was like, I have to paint all these models before I sell this. Well, Ben's still a shithouse painter, but maybe you could do them. I love you, Benny. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. So, number of exciting board game arrivals coming this week. So we've got shipping notification for Ankh, which is the next Eric Lang Dudes on a Map mythological game. I'm very excited about it. I love Egyptian mythology. His previous ones were Rising Sun and Blood Rage, so Japanese mythology and Vikings in the same game design. Sorry, mate. I love you, buddy. I didn't mean it. You're one of my biggest supporters. It's just teasing you because it's low-hanging fruit and your girlfriend's better than you. Anyway, so Ankh, which is very exciting. It's been on my list of things to do for a long time, is to finish painting my Rising Sun models. There's only 9 of them left to go. I'll get around to it. And then I also want to paint my Blood Rage. And then I'll paint Ankh. I've also got a game called Sea of Legends, which has been a bit of a Kickstarter disaster actually. So I'm, as most of you would know probably by now, pretty chill about stuff. And I'm quite chill about this situation, but there's been a number of people who haven't been chill. They've been very upset. It was a Kickstarter, ran last year. It's a pirate game, looks pretty cool, cool models. I'm excited to check it out. So the Kickstarter shipped earlier in the year. Supposed to ship in February. And they had an app for the game. It's like an app-driven game. So when they shipped the first boxes, the app wasn't ready. So the first people that got the game and couldn't play because the app wasn't ready. The app released was buggy as all hell. People didn't get their games for several months, and then Australia, which is not a big board games market, right? I think we had 300 copies or something like that, or even less. They most of the time board games they get delivered to Australia first because we're closest to China, so we normally luck out. But for this particular one, they fucked up and they sent the copies that were supposed to go to Australia got sent to Europe, and they didn't have any copies for Australia. They got left, forgotten about, and so they sent them all to Europe. So when Australia was supposed to be shipping, they turned around and realised, oh fuck, we've got no copies in China, so we can't send to Australia. They're like, well, where are the copies? And they sent them to Europe. And then what they found was, because they'd been filling broken part orders and missing orders, and people who hadn't got on the initial thing and were like late backers, they'd filled a couple of those. When they realised they didn't have enough copies of the game left to supply all the people in Australia, they ended up being 10 copies short. So they then had to send out a Kickstarter update that basically said, yeah, we done fucked up, and there's not enough copies, so we've randomly selected 10 people, and those 10 people are not receiving copies of the game. We're sending them a refund. So people are blown up. I'm still receiving the game, which is cool, but a number of people aren't, and I can understand their frustration. It's disappointing when you've been excited about something and someone tells you can't have it. I can understand the frustration, but I don't think I would have thrown my toys out of the cot. Probably just would have gone, yep, moved on. There'll be second-hand market for games. There pretty much always is. Every game I've ever wanted, I've been able to buy second-hand, even if I have to pay a little bit more. So But yeah, I feel for the poor people who missed out. But anyway, so the game was supposed to ship in Feb, and we're now in July, and the games have just left the Asian warehouse to get sent to Australia, and it's 4 to 6 weeks by boat to get them here before they come out of customs and then get sent to Ada Works and then get sent out to people. So it's going to be somewhere in the vicinity of 6 or 7 months behind everyone else got their games. And again, I'm not too fussed because it'll happen when it happens. We've got heaps of games. But people are collectively losing their minds over it. Like, calling for boycotts of their next game and blah, 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 blah. It's okay, guys. I don't think those people really wanted to fuck up as badly as they did. I'm sure they wanted it to be perfect as well. It's not an easy time to be shipping things across the world right now. Everything's a clusterfuck. Darwini, thank you for following. You're right, it is. It's all calculated. They just want to fuck us. Fuck the backers. No, it looks fun though. It looks like a fun game. I'm excited for when I do eventually get it and get to use the advantage. The advantage of what's happened is the app's still not fucking fully fixed yet. So by the time the game gets here, the app will be ready to go and we'll actually be able to play the fucking game properly. How good is that? You're beautiful, oh, baby, you light up my world like nobody else. Fuck, these models are so good, hey? My friend Whaley, the great man, he fucking loves vampires and skeletons, and he always wants to play the undead in every game we ever play. He's like, is there an undead class? Is there an undead faction? Can I play the undead? Told him in Frosthaven there's a character class that's a necromancer, and he's like, well, it's called the Bone Shaper. Looks really cool. I think I'm at 35 or 40 Kickstarters now. There's been some that have taken a long time to get there, but I've never had one that just didn't turn up. I've never had one that was that arrived to me and I was like, well, this is a straight rip-off. They've all been just games that people have tried their best to make, which is cool. And I'm sure that this Sea of Legends will be the same. It will be the best game that these good people tried to make. I have to keep a tracking file of all my stuff because I buy models on pre-order and I buy Kickstarters and I buy all sorts of shit, so I keep a document now so I remember what I've fucking got on order. And it's also got when I'm expecting it to arrive. I don't buy that much, right? Like I buy maybe one a month, but 1 or 2 a month. Board game or Kickstarter, and then a couple of models will come in. So I buy them. It's like a couple of $100 a month usually, not a massive amount. But when they don't get shipped for like 6 months, it all racks up very quickly. There's been a few recently where I've been like, yeah, I regret not getting in on that. Weren't most of them done that way? CG? Ah, g'day, celery. What's going on? Has been a while. Yeah, the Kickstarter was a collaboration though between Black Sun and Broken Toad. I know they got Joaquin Palacios to sculpt a lot of them. He's one of Black Sun's main sculptors, and then yeah, I think they had Raul Garcia Latorre, and I know they got Lucas Pina to do a sculpt. But yeah, I know they had some digital sculptors as well. Yeah, I love the Dark Souls art. I got pretty keen on like the game. I was pretty stoked on the board game for a while. So Celery, I hope things have calmed down a bit for you, mate. Nah, never played them. Never even looked at them. Well, the only models I'm waiting on right now are the Dale Guard Kickstarter that I ordered that is supposed to be shipping in the next few weeks, and the Journeyman Miniatures Morrigan. They're the only ones that I'm waiting on that should be arriving soon. The other stuff I've purchased is like next year. Oops. Celery, this is our colour scheme that we're going for, mate, that I've just knocked up tonight. So we're just doing 10 of these bad boys. Thank you, mate. What's the time? Fuck me, 10:30. Chipping away on these dudes, but batch painting takes a bit longer than display painting, evidently. Unless you're painting Crusaders. Those things are amazing. Is that the one with the never-ending story chick in it? Yeah. My friend Natalia did the box art for that Empress chick. I have a lot of cool friends. It's very cool. That's what makes it beautiful. I think a lot of my work has a very cartoony vibe. Like it looks like a cartoony style. I remember someone asked me right as I was finishing up a stream a couple of months ago, how did my like style evolve into this slightly cartoony style it has, and I never got to answer that question, and I'm not going to answer it now, but the reason I was thinking that is it's interesting how the Crusader was sort of a departure from my normal style, and maybe it's less about the model and more about the fact that it was a more realistic approach to miniature painting than I normally take. I'm normally all about crazy colours and stuff. I wonder if that's what caught people's eye. We'll never know. Fuck, I love these skeletons. Oh, see you, Nicky Jags. You going to be at work tomorrow, mate? Yeah, okay. Just let me know. Hope you feel better, buddy. I haven't seen the Ring City and Dark Souls, no. Hey, so I've got a potential idea for the stream that I wanted to run past you great people. Tell me if this is something that you want to see. Because it's a bit out there. I told my girlfriend that I was going to make her a book nook for her birthday. A Harry Potter book nook. If you're not familiar with what a book nook is it's a little bookshelf topper thing that you have your books resting up against so they don't fall over. But in the little nook, you'll usually do like little scenery. Let me grab you a photo of a book nook, just in case you don't know what it is. Here you go. So this is just like a 3D or a MDF one you can buy. Just looks like this, right? So the whole idea is that the way that it's angled, you use like mirrors, two-way mirrors and stuff, so that it looks like it goes off into your bookcase, like a crazy effect. And then you have like LED lights and stuff to showcase little shops and what have you. Here's another one. This one looks pretty good actually. Yeah, I just thought it'd be fun to try and make one, and I thought you might like it as a present, to do a little book nook thing like this. What the fuck are you talking about, Ben? That's what I'm fucking talking about, dickhead. A Harry Potter book nook. That's what I want to make my girlfriend for her fucking birthday. Do you even fucking pay attention on this stream, mate? Or do you just come here to bust my chops? Seriously. Anyway, is that something I should try and do on the stream? Do you think? What do you think, friends? Is that something that would be of interest? Is that Nerdforge? Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, I like it. What came out of Camelot was that I really enjoyed building the scenery stuff, more so than I expected to. And I thought, you know what, I wouldn't mind trying to do a little bit more of that scenery gear. That could be fun. So I may do so. Interesting. I tried undercoating white and only using glazes, not any like opaque colours, to see how that would work. If I could do that. I could not. that shield is going to look so fucking good when I do the red light. Yeah. Cool. Hello guys, Marco here from Not Mecha Minis. And today we're going to paint with oil paints. Stop painting with oil paints, guys. They suck. Don't do it. Take fucking ages. Take fucking ages. Anyway, I'm gonna fucking pack up my stream in a second because it is nearly 11 o'clock. And I have to go to work tomorrow. Well, in a sense. I don't have to leave my house, but I haven't experimented with oil paints. I'm not a person whose perspective you can trust on oil paints, but take it from me, they suck. Get into there with the acrylics and the contrast paints. Boom, boom, boom. Contrast paints are like acrylic oil paints. Good on you, Celery. You're my hero, mate. Oh, you're doing a Durgan Forge. Yeah, awesome. I was looking at their Kickstarter last night. They're mad. The taste of your oil paints all around. They're toxic and they take forever to dry. Oil paints suck, you should use acrylics. I'm addicted to oils, but you know that they're toxic. If you haven't watched it yet, tonight's episode of Loki is an absolute fucking banger. See you, Smeggers. Absolute bangosaurus. Get into it. When I hosted a podcast, we did an episode that people have been crying out for fucking months. It was like a faction review of this faction that I hated, and we talked it up all week. It was April Fools. Talked it up all week. Yeah, we're gonna do this faction review. It's gonna be awesome. Everyone's been crying out for it. Dano's gonna fucking talk about them. And then we literally just did a whole episode and we never once mentioned him. People were like, I thought you were doing that faction review episode. I said, yeah, we did. We don't give a fuck about him. That's our faction review. Boom. We're a very popular podcast. Very popular. Many people listen to it. Wasn't just like 3 people or anything. It's actually true. We had when we hung up the boots, we had 200,000 downloads of our podcast. And that was from 112 episodes or something. And there's only 52 released to the public episodes. The other ones were subscriber edition stuff. Fucking great podcast. Oz Machine. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Oz Machine. It was about War Machine, mate, which is a game that my friends and I played competitively for a number of years. And when we stopped playing competitively and moved on to different things, we stopped the podcast. To this day, we still have people asking us when we're bringing it back. Alright, I think I might call it a night just there. No rush on these guys, friends. We'll just take as long as we take. That's our colour scheme. Very cool. You're all champions. Congratulations to that guy from South Australia who won some vampires. He's going to get the cards as well, so I hope he has fun with those dudes. And let's find some great human being that we can raid tonight. I'm sorry you didn't win the vampires. I would have loved for all of you to win the vampires. But you didn't. Alright, Mini Den's on. He's at a glorious 136 people. Thanks, Metharoy. I don't want to raid myself, mate. Why would I want to raid myself? Alright, let's have a look. We've got Moon Squid Ink. That doesn't look like miniature painting. The Source Painting, I think that guy's... Oh, something pretty's on. She raided us the other night. Maybe we should raid her back. What is she playing here? Slime Rancher. What the fuck? Crazy. Mind you, I play Gloomhaven, don't I? The Source Painting.
As long as I don't get caught, that's legal.
Any recommendations?
It's technically legal. It's not ethical, but if you don't get caught...
I am...
right?
Yeah, I do some assembly line stuff. On occasion. I don't do it a lot, but on occasion I'll do it. Just depends what I'm painting. Alright. Oh, actually, he's painting Virgo, Mini Den.
How can I do it?
He's a good painter, that guy.
How can I do it? Because I am looking, I have to shave.
That was a cool model. Alright. Any recommendations, friends? I'm happy to hear. Chris Frozen, yeah, I like Chris Frozen. I've rated Brush High before, but I haven't rated Chris Frozen, and I do know that guy. He follows me on Twitter, I think. Where is he? He's not coming up on the miniature figures thing. Where the fuck is he? Yep, we'll go raid Chris. I like him. Yep. On your friends, so next stream we're going to be back on probably Sunday morning, definitely. But I may get a cheeky Saturday night stream in, and I may even...
Discord, yeah, so Discord as well. Tomorrow, guys, we're going to be watching...
I may even get a stream in tomorrow night, because I am...
9:30 tomorrow.
I'm not working and I can't leave my house. So maybe we'll keep painting some skeletons tomorrow night. You're all champions! Raid!
Jenny! Yo, Jen, how you doing? Jenny, I really like that model you're painting. I don't know what it is, but the skin colour on it is awesome. And Big Deno, no way! Hey man, how are you?